This evil drill rapper who kidnapped a 16-year-old boy and tortured him has just been released from prison. Isaac Donkoh, known as Young Dizz, is a gang member and drill rapper from the Beckton area of East London known as the Sixth. He is one of the leaders of a gang known as ACG, which stands for Anyone Can Go, alongside Somali brothers Twin S and Twin H. In recent years, they have been involved in a deadly beef with a rival gang from Forest Gate known as the Seventh. This gang included notorious members such as CB. Although they were in a deadly gang war, it would be an attack on someone from his own area that would land him in jail. Young Dizz was a prolific drug dealer in the Beckton area, but his operation heavily relied on the use of young gang members under the age of 18 to distribute his drugs. Dizz kidnapped a 16-year-old gang member and tortured him with other youngsters. Dizz groomed and recruited 4 other teenage boys aged between 14 and 16 years old to take part in the sickening crime. The victim apparently owed Young Dizz money for drugs and he had failed to pay him on time. They told him to meet them on a quiet road in East London. The victim turned up as agreed and a car pulled up, with Dizz driving and the 4 other teenagers in the passenger seats. The victim was punched in the head and body and forced into the vehicle. They put 2 plastic bags over his head and secured them with an elastic band. Dizz drove the car to the family home of one of the 14-year-old boys. When they got inside, Dizz told the victim that they had guns and knives. They forced him to strip naked whilst Dizz recorded him on his iPhone and posted the videos on Snapchat threatening to cut him up if he didn't take his clothes off. They hit his body with metal poles and Dizz repeatedly slapped him in his face on camera as they made him kneel down and cut his hair with scissors. Dizz tried to pour boiling water over the boy's head, resulting in burns to the victim's feet. He was also forced to swallow a spliff and kicked in the face multiple times whilst Dizz filmed it all on his phone. The kid was forced to call his parents and beg them for £1,500 for them to release him. Once Dizz received the money, a bag was placed back over the victim's head and he was told not to speak to police and released near where he had been kidnapped. Young Dizz would later be arrested and charged with kidnap, GBH and false imprisonment. The victim was later contacted via Snapchat and was told that Dizz wanted him to drop the charges and not show up in court, and he would give him £5,000 if he did so. The victim did not drop the charges and Dizz went to trial. Isaac Donkoh, aka Young Dizz, was found guilty of kidnap, false imprisonment and GBH. He was sentenced to 12.5 years in prison. He has just been released this last week after serving only 5 years of his sentence, as the Labour government have released thousands of prisoners due to overcrowding in the jails. Follow the page and leave a comment on any other criminal cases you'd like to see on the channel.